What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Next Success. I'm Skylar Beidendorp.
And I'm Adam Bastian. And today we're going to be talking about fitness, and we have a guest on today. His name is Micah Lofgren.
How's it going?
He is a personal trainer. He just got certified. He actually used to work with me at the prison. That's how I knew him. I met him in the academy. And he's super ripped. He's buff.
Thanks, dog.
He's 22. He lives in Springville, and he has his own podcast. It's called Lofgranigans with his cousin and brothers, right?
Yes, sir. It's a comedy podcast. Check us out.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I want to listen to it. I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it.
So, well, we're gonna like Adam said, we're gonna talk about fitness and all like the benefits to it, not just the physical ones, but also the mental, emotional ones, just everything about it. So, let's start with the physical ones. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
What would you say is the biggest benefit of working out for your physical body?
Well, I'd say obviously like staying slim, being strong. That's something to take pride in, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, just having gotten certified as a fitness trainer, I learned a lot about like how it can help reduce the likeliness of like having a chronic illness later in life. And I thought that was fascinating because I mean, in America, we got like the obesity epidemic, heart disease is a huge problem, like high blood pressure, all of that can be lowered by just working out every day.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty sick.
Okay, so when you say working out every day, is that working out 5 minutes a day? Is that working out 3 hours a day?
So I was looking at that today actually, and I saw a statistic that said like 75 minutes of moderate activity, or no, 150 minutes of moderate activity, or 75 minutes of intense physical activity can like significantly reduce your chance of chronic illness, and it can like raise your life expectancy like 3 to 4 years.
Holy crap.
Shoot, I'll take that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, okay. So 75 minutes or 100?
75 of intense, or 150 minutes of moderate activity, and that's like per week.
Okay.
Per
Per
week?
week.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, I
Sorry,
was like
not per day.
Yeah, I thought you were saying per day. I was like, I don't think
That'd
people
be- that'd
listening
be,
are going to be down for working out.
That'd be tough.
That's not even that bad. That's like, yeah, I can't.
That's not
even-
extreme.
75
Nothing
minutes.
extreme.
That's like an hour and what, 20 minutes or 15 minutes?
Yeah.
That's nothing. In a week? That dude, easy.
Easy money.
That'd be what, like 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, if that.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has 30 minutes a day they could set aside for working out, and that's probably enough to really break a sweat, get your heart rate up, and have results come into your life,
Yeah,
come into your body.
You
Just
remember,
take your social media time, cut that back a little bit,
Really, though.
insert fitness.
do you remember that commercial when we were growing up, and it was like it would be kids just playing outside, and it would be like, get up and play an hour a day. You remember that commercial?
Oh, I haven't seen that, no.
Really?
Get
Oh.
up and play an hour
That
a
would
day.
motivate. When I was a kid, we'd be watching TV as a family, just all my brothers and sister, and then this like commercial would come on, and these kids were like inside, and then all of a sudden like they would run outside, and they're just having like a good time, and we were like, man, that looks so fun. And then at the very end, all the kids would get together, and they'd be like, get up and play an hour a day, and so we would get up, and I'd be like, are you ready, guys? Let's go outside for an hour. But
I like that.
I don't know.
No, I like that because like we were talking this a little before, but in the last like 20, 25 years, like TV, video games, smartphones have become so much a part of our daily lives. And there's a lot of sitting around that happens, and a lot of just like mindlessly thumbing through social media or just watching the next episode. Like I was watching a TV show the other day with some friends, and every episode ended on a huge cliffhanger. Like they are designed that way to keep you on the couch watching. And that's how social media is too. And like literally video games, everything like that. So getting up and playing an hour a day outside is so rare, like for kids, and even for like me sometimes. Like sometimes I spend like a full day in my apartment, and I know that's like not healthy. It's just the days I don't have anything planned, I'm just like getting stuff done, but like I need to go spend more time outside and be more physically active. Like I work out inside, but you know,
Yeah.
anywho.
Dude, no, Squid Game. I just watched that.
Yeah.
Yo, like every my dad wanted me to watch it, so I'm sitting there watching it with him. And we straight up watched 6 episodes straight. And those are hour-long episodes. So for 6 hours, we were watching that.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. Like, at the end of the episode, it was like this crazy, like, cliffhanger. And I was like, okay, I got to know what happens. I was like, are they going to die? Like, are they going to live? And so then we watched the next one. And 6 hours later, I fell asleep watching it. And that's why I stopped watching it for the day. Was because I fell asleep.
Yeah, I feel that. And like life is designed to keep us in now, you know? Like we can order our groceries from Walmart and have them delivered to us. There's nothing stopping us from just chilling in the house all day long.
Right.
We got cheap entertainment. We can have our food delivered, whatever we need.
It's so cheap.
And the unhealthy stuff is the cheapest, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's cheaper to have a Netflix subscription than to go to the, like, every month, than to go to, like, a gym every month.
That's true. It's such a backwards world we live in. I feel like someone I'm close to keeps saying, like, man, human beings are so dumb. Like the unhealthy food is more expensive. Like the food that has all the chemicals and preservatives, the more added to it, it's more expensive. And like even that, like it's just so like we do things all the time that are bad for us, but it's because it's the easy thing. But you know, we think about it, it's like really ridiculous that we do these little things every day. But
temporary pleasures.
Temporary pleasures. Basically, it's important to get outside. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Spend an hour a day
at least.
Wait, what was the little quote you said?
Get out and play an hour a day.
Get out and play an hour a day. Yeah.
So that motivated me a lot as a kid. And then we got rid of cable and went downhill since then.
Went downhill since then.
Oh man. Well, what got you started working out, Micah?
Yeah. I remember as a young kid, I had 5 brothers, and I always just thought it was fun, you know. I always thought working out was kind of fun. I wasn't real extreme about it or anything, but I remember like going into my dad's room and I was like, "Dad, watch this. I can do 100 sit-ups." And my patient, loving dad just kind of sat there and he's like, "Oh, wow. That's cool. Still going?" You know? And he was very encouraging and supportive. And so, I don't know, I kind of just transferred over the years. As a young kid, it was just, you know, you want to be strong, you want to be fit. And then over time, I realized like this is healthy. This is so healthy for me mentally, physically. Got me through some of the hard times, you know. I know you guys served missions. I also served a 2-year mission for my church, and you're a long ways from home there. Nobody's around, none of your family, none of your friends. Everything's new, and I just remember getting out there, and I had a trainer who was buff. He was a power lifter, and we'd work out together. And I just decided then, I was like, I'm gonna come home a different guy physically. I'm gonna be so much stronger. And I put on probably 15 pounds of muscle those 2 years, and it's just kind of kept me going ever since then.
That's a lot.
Very good. Quick clarification: I didn't serve a mission.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just
I didn't know that.
so the listeners don't think that I did when I didn't. But yeah, no, I didn't. I put in my papers, but another story, a story for another day. But
Gotcha.
But I wish I put on 15 pounds in 2 years.
Straight up. I did 40 pounds, 50 pounds in 2 years of fat.
Dude, I got there on my mission too. I didn't even know it. I see some pictures of like my mid mission, and I'm like, who is that? I look like a chipmunk with those cheeks there.
Yeah, it was
shocking.
Dude, I was large and in charge, man. I was like in charge. So, like, yeah, it was an interesting time. I got home with like a 38 waist. I was like, oh man. Now I'm at like a 30, 32. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, let's talk more about that. You said getting through the hard times.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people think that working out is just so you can look better and like sometimes conform to society and how we're all supposed to look and look like the people in the movies. But there's a lot of benefits that go beyond that, like mental, emotional benefits. I think if people just worked out for the emotional and mental benefits, everyone would be a lot healthier, like literally in every way. So like if there was a pill, if I told you guys to take a pill that made you look better, that decreased depression and anxiety, increased your dopamine levels, increased what's the other happiness one? Basically just like make you feel happier and better about yourself, raise your self-esteem. You have to take it every day. Who wouldn't take that? And there's like not really negative side effects when you do it properly. Everyone would take that. So basically I'm saying there's a lot to it. So let's go deeper into that though. When you were talking about getting through the hard times,
Yeah.
I don't know, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of days when, if things are just slow for me, I feel like I've been inside too much. That's kind of what, that's a bad day for me. If I'm inside, I'm not doing much, then it's not fun. It's not fun. And so that's when I'll go hit the gym for an hour, even if it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm just like, man, this day has been a bust. I'll be like, okay, it's gym time. I even remember one time I went through a breakup just that day, and I was kind of a mess. I was pretty emotional about it, and my family was there. My family was at my house, came to see me, and I was like, okay, I gotta put myself together a bit, be kind of somewhat pleasant to be around.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what gets me at my best? What helps me, put myself together at these times? And I was like, running. I got to go for a run. So I did. I took off. My parents knew what was going on. I took off, ran 3 miles, blasted some music. And I got back and my mom was like, well, how do you feel? And I was like, all is well, mother.
All is well.
Like the problem wasn't there. I still had to deal with it over the weeks after that. But that got me through the day,
Right.
Helped me kind of change my mood and my mindset to one that would be healthy and happy for the rest of the day.
Yeah. We're having some technical difficulties with.
My arm just fell off the
with Adam
table, so
Mike.
I'm just gonna unscrew it.
You could probably put it back on, but if you want, whatever makes sense. Yeah. So a lot of what I've realized and have learned is like a 30-minute workout. Like if you're having a crappy day, just a 30-minute workout, like getting your heart rate up and you're doing all that. Like some of those benefits I listed earlier, but those can, like if your day is going in one direction, a 30-minute workout can totally change your mood. Because if you think about it, we take action on a lot of times how we feel, and when we how am I trying to put this? Basically, when emotions create actions, right? However we're feeling creates actions, and actions get our results. So if you can change how you're feeling, you're going to change what you do. And you're going to change kind of how you end up later. So it's like just a 30-minute workout can totally change the direction of your day, which on our days turn into our lives.
Right.
So it's kind of wild.
Changes your course for the day.
Yeah, I mean, we're emotional creatures, I think.
Very much.
Like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Like how we feel on a daily basis, or the types of things we're going to do and the things we're going to say is what our emotions are going through.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as we kind of like stabilize our emotions, and I think that comes from working out and from doing things a little outside the box, being creative, whatever it might be, I think that stabilizes our emotions. And then we make more sane, realistic, good choices throughout our lives that will improve our circumstances rather than negate them.
Yeah. Personal experience that's coming through my head. So I don't know if you knew this, but so I used to be married and got divorced like a year and a half ago ish. And so when I went through that, obviously that's a tough thing to go through. It's rough. And so when the divorce was like final and had all happened, I was living in my parents' basement for a little bit, kind of super cliche, right? That's what happens. And I was seeing a therapist at the time, and I was telling her like kind of how my life was going, or like what I was doing day to day. She's like, I think you're depressed, dude. Like, I think you got some issues. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that. Like I thought I would have, because I don't know. I like to think I'm pretty self-aware, but I started to work out on the daily, like every single day. I was like, I'll just do P90X because it's 30 minutes and it's simple and I can just follow it.
Heck yeah.
Makes it easier to do. And I think that's what stopped me from going like into like getting really depressed. Like, cause that was for maybe a month. I was just kind of chilling, not really doing anything. And it was working out and it gave me the sense of accomplishment that I was actually still doing something. And it's kind of proved to me that I could still motivate myself enough to get something done and to still at least maintain my physical body.
Yeah.
So, but
Well, hopefully that wasn't too annoying. And
yeah, I
it's
think
not,
you want me to
not,
move
not
that?
a bunch of noise while I'm trying to take this mic off.
Yeah, I'll mute your mic.
So
Post.
yeah, well, yeah. I was like, hopefully it doesn't take away from Skylar's story.
But
No, I
Anyway.
imagine, like we've talked about it before a little bit, just like on the podcast, off the podcast, and it sounds like it's a super hard thing to go through.
yeah,
And I think it's cool to me that you found that, like you recognized that, that exercise or that fitness, or you were doing outside things to fix, like external things and motions of yourself to fix the internal things about you.
yeah,
And I think that's really cool. I think a lot of people don't see that. Well, they don't recognize it until way after the fact.
right.
But there's a lot of power in recognizing it during the fact and then doing something about it.
Mhm.
And even like you were saying with Micah, with like going through that breakup, like you recognize that there's something wrong with you inside, and so you wanted to change that, so you did something on the outside to change that, and it
Yeah.
helped. And I don't know. And I think working out is a perfect way to do that. Fitness, it's huge.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little thing that can make a world of difference.
Yeah. I don't know. In my
Mhm.
opinion, I think a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, like I'm into fitness, right? Like working out to them is just going to the gym and like lifting weights.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, I think you should do something that you love doing. Like not everybody will like lifting weights.
Right.
Like not everybody is going to like swimming, but like if that's not what you're into, go find something that you love, whether that be biking. If that's what you love, then be really good at biking and make that your fitness. But if you love rock climbing, make that your exercise. Like working out is not going to the gym and getting huge. Like being active and exercising is doing something that you love that uses energy in your body. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that before we started the podcast a little bit. Like if you're working out and it's just miserable for you, like
Mhm.
you're just dragging your feet all the way to the gym every day, you're probably not doing something. There's something you're not doing right, Like it should be fun, and it's going to be
Yeah.
hard at times, and it's never going to be easy, but there should be some level of enjoyment to it.
Yeah, like that. There's enjoyment for me personally in like doing something that makes me better or makes me stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you think of anything you've ever started to do or anything you've done for the first time, like if you're wanting to learn an instrument, it's because you're wanting to play some song or like get really, I don't know, just good, right? You want to
Yeah.
play. You want to play like your friend plays or something. But that first time you play, it sucks because you're in the beginning stages, so it's not really fun. You're not really able to do the thing you want to do.
Right.
It's like with fitness, if you're not into it and you're just getting started, go and give it a chance. Like get a routine, learn about fitness, learn how to make it fun, because it probably won't be fun at first because it's brand new. Like you don't really know what you're doing. But it should be enjoyable at some point,
Yeah. Yeah, amen to that. I mean, there's going to be kind of a wall at first.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're just getting into fitness, but once you bust through that, it's going to be fun,
Mhm.
I kind of went through a stage probably about a year ago where I wasn't working out too much. I'd kind of lost some of my steam on it, and then I joined Police Academy with Adam, and they kind of kicked me back into gear, forced me to do some running, get in shape a little bit better.
Well, you
And,
didn't look like you were out of shape.
Thanks, bro.
Man,
Thanks.
it's like a Greek god, man. It's like it's chiseled
I
out of
didn't
marble.
feel like one. I started getting back into the gym, and I just felt so sluggish every day. And now I live for it, man. It's so fun.
Yeah. It's like that. Like we had a podcast episode, making breaking habits, like make working out a habit. 'Cause
Yeah.
once it's a habit, it doesn't take as much like mental energy to actually go and work out. It's just
Yeah.
something you do. And another thing for me that's made it a lot easier to work out, it's like when I work out with someone else or go to the gym with someone else, it's not just more fun, but it makes it a lot easier to be consistent at.
Mm-hmm.
And something I was listening to earlier was saying like working out and everything will, there's a lot of physical benefits, emotional benefits, mental benefits, right? But when you work out as a team, like if you play team sports or do something you love for fun, like Adam was saying, when it's a group of you, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but when you play a sport together and you're all sweaty and like you have the same goal and you're working hard, there's a lot more, I don't know, it's just way more fun.
Camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
Camaraderie, yeah. But
Yeah, I typically go with my cousin. He's a swollen
Yeah.
mammoth, and I don't even work out with him, but it's fun. We drive over there together, we leave together, and gets you tight,
yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we made a little list of the mental benefits. I may have mentioned some earlier, but do you want to read some of those, Adam?
Yeah. So this is just a list that we made that working out helps, and just being fit and doing those activities. So some of them, this first one I think is huge, is it increases self-confidence. I think that one's huge. I think there's a lack of people being confident now, more
Yeah.
so than ever,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that directly correlates to the energy that we use with exercising, because we don't exercise as often as we used to. Like, I think humans used to, like, to survive, they had to exercise.
Yeah.
They had to go hunt. They had to go find their food and run to get it. They had to use energy to get it. Now, we get in our cars and we drive to Walmart.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to hunt. You don't have to gather nothing. And maybe that's why our body likes it when we're physically active, is because it's like, hey, we're doing something that's going to give us food, or it can like defend against.
We're in a
People.
hunter and prey mindset.
Yeah. No, if you think about it, like there's a lot of truth to that. But yeah, like confidence. Because like when Adam takes his shirt off, I know he's a confident guy because he looks like a freaking
Nice.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. He looks nice. But like seriously though, like in all seriousness, like when you go to the beach or whatever and you've been working out, you've put in the work, and you don't need to be shredded, like have 2% body fat or anything, but when you've done work and you look the way you look because of the effort you put in, there is some confidence. There's a lot of confidence I think that comes with that. But
It's definitely something to be proud of.
yeah, that's all it is. Being proud of yourself and what you've done. One thing that I feel like I'm getting better at, but it's just like memory. That's another benefit of working out, is that you can have a sharper memory. I feel like for the longest time, my memory's just been trash. Like I can't remember people's names. I remember movie quotes really well a lot of the times. I think that's because they're freaking funny. But yeah, sharpened memory. So if you're someone that like doesn't have a good memory or is just trash, like working out, I don't know what it does. I don't know how it does it, but it increases, your memory.
Do you know anything about that? Like the science behind it?
I don't, to be honest, but I've certainly noticed it before. I think diet has a big part of it too,
Yeah.
If you're eating a healthy diet, not just eating trash all the time, that sharpens your mind, sharpens your memory, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Reduces addiction. That's another one.
I know you guys, I know you did a episode on addiction, so hopefully I'm not just repeating. I haven't seen that particular one. But like one big thing I've learned about like addiction recovery is you got to replace addiction with another habit,
Yeah.
Replace the bad with some good. What better thing to replace, drugs or pornography addiction with than working out every day?
Yeah, something that Skylar said in one of the past episodes was you were just talking about a coach you had that kind of Like he said, whenever you start to feel that way or that you want to do that particular thing, he's like, put your shoes on and start running.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every single time. And that taught me a lot. And we talked about this the other day just by ourselves, but we were like we weren't taking, like in that instance, his coach wasn't telling him to try to get rid of that feeling altogether. He was telling him to redirect that feeling to something else, to something positive rather than something negative. And so that's something really cool. Like if you start to feel that way, if you start to feel a way, like if you're addicted to pornography, like if you want to look at pornography, like when you start to feel that, like put your shoes on, start running, or go to the gym and start lifting, like replace it with something else. Use that powerful emotion, because it's a huge, powerful emotion that is. Like your body and your mind kind of craves it. And so if you can change that craving to something else, like improving your body and working out and lifting something heavy as garbage, like you're going to improve, and that addiction will slowly but surely like leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that actually was my bishop telling me, like, okay, if you're like feeling like you want to look at pornography or, whatever like that, to redirect it, move it towards, like put it on your running shoes and work out or something like that. So, an example of that is, have you ever like moved and you're like at work and you start driving home to work and you drive to the wrong place? Or it doesn't necessarily have to be work, but has that ever happened to you where you're like on the autopilot and you end up driving to the wrong place because you're on autopilot? So that's kind of, I think, how addictions are, is we get so used to when we feel something, we start to go towards the habit or the addiction we have. And what we need to do is we need to consciously change that. Like when we leave work, we need to consciously like know we're going to our new address. When we can redirect it that way, as soon as we start to get that feeling of that addiction, like we want to partake in whatever it is, if we start to consciously change it to running, when we start to feel that, our brain just be like, oh, autopilot. Now, because we're feeling this desire, we're going to go run or work out instead. So it takes being conscious and some discipline at first. But after a while, it does create just this habit of, you want to eat you want to overindulge in food, you look at pornography, drugs, whatever it may be. Your brain will be like, oh, I feel that. Now let's go on a run.
Yeah.
And then once you get those, your blood flowing through your brain and everything, that desire kind of goes away. So
I don't know. I would argue that it doesn't really go away completely, at least for me. Like it never really goes away. It's always there, but I'm like, I have control over it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
I keep thinking of this quote. It's like, an idle mind is the devil's playground, or something like that.
Yeah.
If you're idle, then those thoughts, those desires are always going to come to you. And they don't just magically disappear when you go do something else, but it puts your mind elsewhere,
Yeah, I remember this time at work. I just went through something really hard at work. We had I do remember. This guy tried to kill himself, and I had to pick him up and stuff, and he like cut his wrists with razor blades, and I was covered head to toe in his blood, and I was so stressed at the end of that day. I was so stressed. And I remember I got home, and all I wanted to do was like lay down in my bed and just like cry, because I was so like, it was some heavy stuff. And I was sitting there, and I was just feeling horrible. And I remember thinking to myself, you can either sit here and do nothing, and you can just let it get worse, or you can get up and do something in hopes that it will get better. And so I stood up, and I left the house, and I went to the gym, and I deadlifted like the most I've ever deadlifted.
Nice.
It was like 330 or something like that. So pretty good for me. I was pretty pumped. And but it was a super short workout. It's a super hard workout, but super short. Because honestly, I wasn't really in the mindset to work out, but I knew I needed to. But after that workout, I leveled out enough where I wasn't going to make any heinous decisions based off of my experience of that day. Yeah, it was a weird day.
Yeah.
Wild.
I had a thought on what you just said, but it just left my mind.
The train came and went.
Something else we put on our list. I'm sorry, was there anything else you wanted to say or add to that?
No, it was good.
Oh,
I
cool.
feel pretty solid unless you guys want to.
Yeah, I feel good. So one thing we put on the list was it makes you like a happier friend, which I think is just saying like when you work out and move your body, you have like more positivity, more energy, and when you have that, you're able to give that. Like you can't give something you don't have. I don't know. Have you experienced that where like you have like you kind of feel mellow, you work out, then you go hang out with people. It's different than if you just go hang out with somebody immediately, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ooh, Adam, talk about be your size.
Okay. So the one and only Zac Efron once said, "Be your size." I was watching just like on YouTube at work a couple years ago, and this was like after he filmed his film Baywatch, and he was shredded. I don't know if you've seen that movie. Like everybody in that
Yeah, I've seen
movie
that.
is straight up shredded, but Zac Efron especially is just like ripped out of like his mind. But he was on like a talk show. I think it was Ellen's talk show, and he said, everyone, they made like a wax figure of him, and everyone was just gawking over it and stuff. And he's like, "That's not me." He's like, "That's not my body." He's like, "You know how hard it was for me to maintain that?" And yeah, huge.
Yeah.
And he just told everybody, he's like, "Be your size." And that, I don't know, when he said that, it just like helped me a lot because I realized that like I don't need to be something I'm not. Like I don't need to compare myself to other people, and I don't need to be what other people think I can be. Like I need to be happy in my skin at my size, doing what I love doing, not what other people think I should be doing. What do you think, Micah?
Well, there's always going to be somebody bigger than you,
Right.
Like you are never going to be the biggest fish, and that is okay. Like just work out to a level that kind of helps you relieve some stress, helps you get your energy out. And I mean, if you're trying to get massive and compete in bodybuilding or something like that, you do you, but you don't have to be that guy if you don't want to,
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with like what are your goals? Like what's your purpose for working out? Because like if
Yeah.
you're a bodybuilder, like yeah, you need to be lean as crap and you need
Mhm.
to be working out way more than someone who just wants to maintain a healthy body.
Yeah.
Because like you can Google is awesome and you can just look up like what a healthy body fat is for a guy who is this old or a woman who's this old, and that's different. Like men and women, healthy body fat percentages is different. So I think unless you have a like a competition or like something you're really trying to hit, like just maintain a healthy body fat, maintain a healthy like muscle mass. But yeah, be your size. Don't need to be something you're not.
Just comes down to the fact that you're competing with yourself. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Cause like set your goals, hit those, but like always, like for me, I like to always be expanding and like always have that growth, expansion mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's like always be pushing yourself. Because if you're always doing the same thing every day, like I don't know, you're never gonna go anywhere, right? You have to do new things to like have things you've never had or to be the kind of person you've never been before. So like, yeah, just do. I totally lost my train of thought actually.
I forgot who said it, but he said to have things you never had, you had to do things you never did.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So I think there's a balance between be your size and grow. Don't grow too fast because then you're gonna, I don't know, be someone you're not.
Yeah, and just don't compare. If I went to the gym every day and was like comparing myself to everybody else, I would feel so small. Like there are some titans at the gym I go to.
There's always a Titan at the gym.
Always.
Every gym I've been to, I'm like, holy crap, you're done, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Go home.
I brought my brothers to the gym with me once. My younger brothers, they're like 14 and 17, 16, I think. And there was one particular guy, and they named him. They named him Sun Tzu the Titan.
Sun Tzu
Because
the
he was
Titan.
just massive. I remember telling him, I walked up and I was like, yo, just thought I should tell you, my brothers named you Sun Tzu the Titan because you are just jacked, bro. And we were besties after that, you know?
That's awesome. Oh, man. So, how long have we been recording? What does it say right there? I want to make sure we don't.
We totally forgot to start it.
Yeah.
No.
36 minutes. Okay, so yeah, let's go a little longer. So I'm just thinking for people listening that don't work out, because I think that's more people than not that don't work out every day. What are some simple ways to start to create that habit, and just some easy exercises they can do to just start working out to get all those benefits?
I love that question. You mentioned I just got certified as a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And my whole kind of philosophy is geared towards people who are just starting out, because I've always been really into calisthenics, body weight training, and there's a lot of people out there who don't feel comfortable going to the gym. They feel anxious about it. They don't like working out in public, and I get that. You know, when you're first starting out, a lot of people have those feelings. A lot of people are uncomfortable, and you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to pay for some expensive gym membership. There's a lot that you can do from your own home with just body weight exercises, push-ups, sit-ups, squats, body weight squats, pistol squats. There's so much that you can do just with your own body weight.
Yeah.
And Mike is a beast at like pistol squats. This man will hold
Thanks,
like a 30-pound, 40-pound dumbbell in one hand and then squat with one leg. And I'm like, how the frick? I'm like,
Holy crap.
he's like, you can do it, Adam. I'm like, no, I can't.
I'm afraid you still would squat more than me. Weighted.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could like bar squat, but I can't do no pistol squat, dude. That beyond me, man. I don't
Nah, you
understand.
could get it. I'm positive you could get it.
No, I got.
Just might take a second.
No.
So like basically, it sounds like what you're saying is start with what you got.
Yeah.
Like you don't need a gym membership, but like you do like do you currently work out that way? Like you don't use any weights or anything? to assist?
So I still go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I like getting out of the house. It can be tough, you know. I sometimes if I'm working out at home, it's easy to do a set of push-ups, and then, you know, you just kind of lay down on your stomach to rest, and then 10 minutes later you're falling asleep on the floor.
Yeah, that's true.
That's rough. So I tend to go to the gym, and I use some weights, but mostly what I do pull-ups, I do push-ups, handstand push-ups, pistol squats. I've integrated some weighted training into it, like deadlift, because I think deadlift's really important. If you're safe and careful about it, I think squats are really important, weighted squats. So I do some of both.
Yeah, both. Nice. Switch it up.
Yeah.
I think that's a really nice thing about the gym is it does get you out of the house and kind of in that environment of people just working out, sweating. Sometimes I feel like the gym is a fashion show, but whatever.
Well, when I'm at home, there's no reason not to sit down and take a long break. Whereas if I go do one workout at the gym and then I sit there for 10 minutes, I start to feel like an idiot.
Right, yeah.
You know, it keeps me motivated to keep moving.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I currently work out at home. You both go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like exclusively go to the gym.
Yeah. Have you ever done just like home workouts?
Yeah, all the time.
You like gym much better?
Yeah, I mean, I like the gym because there's a lot more weights there. I'm to the point where I need more weight,
Yeah.
and I can't just I don't have it at home.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm just like not super good at calisthenics. I can do like the basic like I'm really good at like bench, squat, deadlift. You know, like the big top 3
Yeah.
for like weightlifting.
Right.
And everything else is just kind of like based around it. But I'm not like super good at calisthenics. I've always been kind of bad.
Yeah, everybody's got to find their thing, right?
And I love the gym, so I love holding the plates.
Yeah, I think that's like the
Holding the
biggest thing.
barbells.
Do what works for you.
The Church
but
of
work out.
Iron.
The Church of
Worship the
Iron.
plates of steel. I love it.
Yeah. Man, is there anything we haven't touched on? I think we're. Yeah, I don't know.
So I guess number one thing you would share about fitness, about working out, exercise. Number one thing.
Just start. I know it sucks at the beginning. It always sucks, but it'll get better. I promise that, you know? It's like we mentioned earlier, there's that wall. There's that initial wall that you kind of got to break through. And then it starts to be fun and you start to see results. And there's nothing that will give you a confidence boost like seeing yourself slim down or put on some muscle. It's an incredible feeling. And the benefits short term are great. The benefits long term are incredible. You'll live a healthier lifestyle, and it'll be a lifestyle that is more fulfilling and more happy. So just start.
Just start. Yeah, as you're saying that, I was just thinking like, I mean, none of us have kids right now or are married, but like I was just thinking like 5-10 years down the road, if I let myself go and stop working out and I don't know, get overweight, obese, I won't be able to invest as much time and energy into my kids, into my relationships. And it's like, it affects every area, you know? I like, if I want to always be able to go play sports with my kids or to, like I love snowboarding. I always want to be able to do that. I always want to be able to go rock climbing or hiking or something like that. And if I don't do that, I'm limiting myself on the experiences I can have with the people I care most about.
Yeah. I would say like the number one thing for me is like find something that like motivates you. Like for me, I had open heart surgery when I was a kid. So that really motivates me. And they tell me, they're like, don't get fat and don't get super, super buff like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like on steroids buff. And I'm like, oh man. But I really like that. I would say that's like my motivating thing throughout my whole life has been like, do you want to be healthy? Like, do you want to just curl up and die one day because you're fat and like your heart will give out? Or like, and so I've always, I don't know, I've that motivates me because when I realize I don't want to go, I'm like, well, if I don't go, this could turn into a week of not going and then a month of not going and then 2 years of not going. And then I'm going to let myself go and I could die because of my heart.
Right.
And so
that's a powerful motivation.
It is a very powerful motivation. And so it's huge for me in my life to go out and do it. And I have found a lot of joy in it. And I'm realizing that like, despite your circumstances, there's always something you can do to better yourself and your health.
Yeah. I challenge every person listening to this right after, do some push-ups. Do 5 push-ups or as many push-ups as you can do in like a minute or something. Just start. Just do something. And it's cool. Like if you go on YouTube, there are so many videos, like 5-minute exercises for every single body part. Like if you don't work out regularly, I feel like a lot of people think if you don't work out for an hour, don't work out at all. Can't do 30 minutes, don't do it at all. It's like 5 minutes. You can actually get a lot done in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's better to do 5 minutes a day than nothing, or even like 60 seconds. Like it does make a difference. And even if that's where you're at, you start with a minute, work your way up. Week 2, do 2 minutes. Week 3, do 3 minutes. But like if that's what it takes to start, just do it. Start small. Why not? Start where you're at.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us for this episode, guys. And thanks, Micah, for coming out.
Yes, sir. It's been a blast.
Heck yeah, man. We'll have you out again sometime. Maybe later down the road when you've gotten clients and you're making billions.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, if people want to reach out to you and ask for fitness advice or how to start or anything, how can they find you?
Yeah. Look me up at Mike on Instagram. Just Micah Lofgren, MICAH LOFGRAN. And send me a message. Let me know if you wanna try a session, and we'll make it work.
Right on. Love it.
Heck yeah, man. Go ahead and follow his go watch his podcast, listen to it, Lofgranigans.
Yes, sir.
It's on Spotify. It's super funny. So the first one I listened to was it about them getting butt naked in a stream and blowing stuff up, catching the force.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it was so funny. But go ahead and give them a listen, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You can listen to us on Spotify.
Yep.
Stitcher.
Everywhere. Stitcher, Apple, Amazon, Google. If you got value out of this episode, just send it to a friend. That's like word of mouth is like how this podcast gets out there. You know, we don't really do any marketing. Like we post on our Instagram, but that's basically it. So if you got value out of it, share it to someone who else you think could get some value out of it. So,
All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
see ya.